Welcome on into Pat on the first climate change talk show. I'm Steph Abrams.
And I'm Jordan Steele. Thanks for joining us. Today we're focusing in on the Atlantic hurricane season. We know it only takes one storm to make a season unforgettable.
Yeah, last year it was Hurricane Idalia. The category is already being predicted for 2024 as our oceans continue to warm at record levels. But what role does our warming planet play in all this?
Yeah, so Felicia Combs takes a look at how warmer ocean temperatures, both above and below the surface, they're going to play a major role this season.
The changing climate really impacts all aspects of hurricanes and destruction. In fact, Brian McNulty, who is a senior research associate at the University of Miami, he studies all things hurricane and climate. He says that all four Category 5 hurricanes that made landfall in the lower 48 were storms that were not even hurricanes just 3 days before making landfall.
Well, we saw that just last year. What was it?
Hurricane
rapid
intensification
Otis with Acapulco. We went to bed. It was a tropical storm.
And then you
12
wake up the
hours
next day.
later, boom, Cat 5 moving on shore. Frightening. Well, when thinking of hurricanes, what are the first states that come to mind?
I would say Texas and Florida for me.
Definitely, right?
Yes.
Maybe Louisiana, just from the recent storms that we've had the last couple of years.
Well, it's key for hurricane-prone states and cities to be resilient when a storm strikes. For instance, the Big Bend of Florida, battered by Hurricane Idalia last year with record surge submerging Cedar Key, Florida.
Yeah, but the damage could have been more devastating and the recovery much slower if it wasn't for some resiliency in the local market there. Meteorologist Jim Cantori has this story.
I'm actually quite impressed with their recovery. They went really fast. And flooding is one thing, but having those pounding waves is another.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that they used what is natural to that coastline to really slow down the pounding of those waves and the destruction. I think that really probably helped them a lot.
Totally. I mean, that shelf, I fished, in fact, this year at Steenhatchee, which is just north and west a little bit of Cedar Key. And, I mean, you could go out 10 miles and it's still only like 15 feet deep.
Yeah.
So that you know,
bathymetry, it's one of my favorite
really
words.
It's amazing how far out you can go, and it's really not that deep.
The slope of basically the ocean floor is called bathymetry.
All right, well, I want you guys to keep it locked in right here on Pattern. Coming up, we visit a small North Carolina. Welcome back, everybody. Well, back-to-back tropical tragedies leaves one historically black town more resilient than ever.
Yeah, we want to take you to Princeville, North Carolina, where flood mitigation has been a saving grace for the town and the people amid an uncertain stormy future.
I mean, I love the story. Many of us would look at that and be like, man, if it were me, I would move out of there. I'd be long gone after that many times of getting wrecked by Mother Nature. But when you have generations spending their entire lives in one spot, I get why they don't want to leave. And I love that they're not letting up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because it's really inspiring. I agree. It's been multiple times. It's like not once, not twice, but a lot of times they've seen that flooding. And this is even before they built that earthen barrier. So it's been something they've been dealing with, but they love their home, and I get that at the same time.
Mother Nature should be like, stop.
Yeah,
for a while.
Give us a break. Well, we're protecting America for hurricane season coming up. The insurance crisis, ain't that the truth? Let's hope it's not a combo of busy and bad. Welcome back into Pattern, your home for the latest news in climate change and sustainability. I'm Steph Abrams.
And I'm Jordan Steele. So we're looking at a potentially hyperactive Florida. They're facing more than just storm challenges themselves. Insurance rates are rising every year due to these hurricanes. Yeah, national correspondent Justin Michaels explains to us the risk homeowners take when they opt out of making sure that their homes are insured. Florida's such a beautiful place to live, right? And I get why so many people want to live there. But when you have storms like this coming in pretty frequently, I can see why people are having to move and get away, getting priced out.
$1,500 a month for insurance?
It's ridiculous.
People pay less than that for an entire year. And he's lucky he has a choice. With no mortgage, you have a choice. If you have a mortgage, you don't have a choice.
You have to get insurance.
You have to have insurance.
Which makes it that much more expensive. Well, more Pattern is straight ahead for you. Wind turbines have been around for...
Welcome on back into Pattern. It's been 5 years since Hurricane Michael barreled into Florida's panhandle. The Category 5 storm flattened homes as far as the eye could see.
Yeah, but there was one home that stood out from the rest. This yellow home sat practically untouched, and it's teaching us a lesson in hurricane resilience.
That could get her down to the ground very easily. It can be expensive to retrofit, but good if you're doing reconstruction, and make sure those pilings go deep down into the ground too, as well.
Homes lifted up, and it's more round. I mean, I'm so used to like big A-frame houses or the slanter. Everything's square. So these round ones or those dome houses, have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
They're always a little unique to look at, but I mean, if they can withstand storms like this, we should make all of them on the coast like that.
I agree with you. I'm for it.
All right, well, round homes are just one example of how things can be built to withstand these hurricanes.
Designers are also looking to make our clean energy systems storm-proof. Here's a look at what's happening with wind turbines. All the technology, medicine, everything we need is here. Just look around at it and let's try to not destroy it.
The old story of humans trying to outsmart Mother Nature.
Never going to do it.
A lot of times we just need to work together.
Yes.
Get outside.
But,
oh, they do it that way. Maybe we should do it that way.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, she has all the answers. And like our bodies mimic Mother Nature. Think of trees, how we breathe, and our lungs look like trees. Walnuts.
I never thought about that. That's hilarious.
You know, I think walnuts are good for your brain health, and they look like a brain.
Oh my gosh,
so you see a lot of that around.
That's so good.
All right, we'll keep it locked right here on Pattern as we discuss rapid intensification. And the absolute worst is when you go to bed and all of a sudden you wake up and you see this beast barreling right towards you.
Double rapid intensification. I mean, we've seen some of these just really blow up within a short time frame, and it can be absolutely awful. Mentioned earlier, but you know, down in the East Pack, that happened just last year to Acapulco. It's terrible.
With
Cat
Otis,
5. They woke up, tore them up.
Absolutely did.
Well, this is a trend of rapid intensification in hurricanes getting stronger. It has some scientists wondering if we need to maybe change the way we rate them.
So it begs a question. Could we soon see a Category 6? So if a Cat 5 flattens everything, then why do we really need a Category 6?
We don't. I mean, I get where they're coming from. It's like all these other categories have a criteria, a beginning and an end, and Cat 5 doesn't have an end. But you're right. If it's like total devastation.
What's more than total devastation?
What's more than total devastation? Exactly.
All right, well, Pattern rolls on ahead. Tropical trees under a global. Mangroves are nature's defense system against coastal erosion and flooding caused by hurricanes.
Yeah, but nearly half of all mangrove systems across the globe are at risk of collapsing by 2050. It's so bad, scientists have created a red list of endangered mangroves across the world.
Grow up with them down, you know.
Kayaking through them.
Oh, they're beautiful. But they also collect a lot of hurricane debris that's hard to then remove.
Which can damage them.